Given that Infosys has utilized close to 4% of its total cash on this acquisition, how lucrative is it really for the company? Sunita Nagpal, who tracks the sector very closely, joins in from New Delhi with better perspective. Sunita.
Well, this deal doesn't do much as of now for the financials of the company. The revenues added are very minuscule compared to what the Infosys size is. But if you look at the strategic fit, it's a very good step that the company has taken. One, the aggression that was lacking in Infosys, there was a lot of concerns analysts had that the acquisition will never happen. Infosys management doesn't have that kind of aggression. That concern has been allayed now. Secondly, the consulting footprint will increase with this acquisition. They get 750 consultants that, as you heard, Shibulal was mentioning, and this would mean that the company could get a lot of deals, transformational deals going forward. Consulting business is likely to pick up from now on because there is a lot of uncertainty in the global environment, and as the companies try to restructure their businesses, they would be looking at transformational deals. So this provides a potential going forward for both the companies. Lodestone brings roughly about 200 clients, and there is not much overlap, so cross-selling opportunity will be there. Another thing that Infosys will achieve is the increased footprint in Europe. Remember, Infosys has a much lower exposure to Europe compared to its peers, but with this acquisition they will have a larger exposure, and the deal has been done at roughly about 1.6 times 2011 revenues of Lodestone, so it's not very expensive. So there is a huge potential going forward as far as cross-selling opportunity, consulting business together, as well as Europe exposure is concerned for Infosys. That's why you saw the stock got a thumbs up from analysts in today's trade. But as far as financials are concerned, there will not be much impact immediately.
Okay, negligible when it comes to the financials. Thanks very much, Sunita, for giving us those details. The stock price also petered off from the high point of the day, but nonetheless held up in the green at 2,512. To some of the other stocks which were in focus today, ARSS Infra, take a look at the kind of price action you witnessed as the company entered into a master restructuring agreement with its lenders. The recast agreement, remember, is part of the CDR which has been approved by the lenders. In the pharma pack, in fact, put your finger on all of the pharmaceutical names. All of them shot up very well today. Case in point being an Aurobindo Pharma. The company has got a US FDA nod for 2 hypertension drugs. That really augured well with the company. To a brokerage reaction, JP Power reacted very well to JP Morgan's upgrade to overweight from a neutral stance. The target price was also raised by 3 rupees to 40 rupees from an earlier 37. Deccan Chronicle, though, that volatile candidate, was down and out by 8.6% today, as the company is going to be seeking relaxation from its lenders, and corporate restructuring, debt restructuring is going to be undertaken in an attempt to save off bank restructuring. And if approved, it will result in up to 3,270 crore rupees in loans from 28 banks and financial institutions being recast. Reliance Communications was a bit tepid in today's session as the Supreme Court admitted Etisalat's plea on RCOM's payments versus the tribunal order, which challenged the tribunal order, and the Supreme Court admitted Etisalat's plea versus the order to pay a sum of 1,300 crore rupees. Pantaloon Retail shot up in the session as Future Value Retail will be merged with the company. Remember, it houses big group companies like Big Bazaar as well as Food Bazaar, and has now also gotten Peter England's board approval for the demerger of the company's format, business and development. This development, in fact, marks a step towards the Aditya Birla Group's proposed acquisition in the company. Bharti Airtel was very buoyant. It is going to file a $1 billion tower IPO draft prospectus this week for 188 million shares, and that will be the largest share flotation in India over the past 2 years. But all in all, consolidation was really the order of the day given the way the benchmarks panned out. What about the F&O activity? Navneet Saluja is here with the latest. Navneet.
Hi Awan, that's right. It was a day of consolidation. If you look at the Nifty September futures, they closed at levels 5370 with about a marginal premium of about 6 points. A meager build-up was seen of only 7 lakh shares in today's trading session. On the option side, you saw Nifty PCR inching upwards to 0.96, but it still remains below that crucial level of 1, and the active option strikes for 5400 call and 5300 put strikes which were active in today's trading session. Well, 5300 strike is working as a good resistance level for Nifty, because if you look at the 5300 put strike, that added about 12 lakh shares. You also had 200 strike, adding over 5 lakh shares. On the call side, you had 5500 strike, which added over 6 lakh shares, and 5600 call strike, adding just about 4 lakh shares. So we are witnessing higher level call strikes where maximum amount of open interest addition has been seen. On the stock futures front, among the nifty gainers, we saw short covering in counters like Tata Steel and Sun Pharma. Long positions were being built up at Bharti Airtel and Coal India. It was the auto pack which did well for itself. So have a look at counters like Hero Moto, Tata Motors and Bajaj Auto. All the counters were up and about in today's trading session. So fresh longs were seen there, and it was the banking pack which actually pulled down the index today. So look at Axis and SBI. They were down and about in today's trading session. From the mid-cap space, you had Adani Enterprises and VIP, which did very well for themselves in today's trading session. Huge amount of long positions were seen there, and fresh shorts were seen in Reliance Communication and HDIL. In terms of participation, we did about over 70,000 crore of turnover on NSE by the end of the day. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Navneet, for giving us that perspective. So consolidation and low volumes at that. Some of the other stocks in news today, Venus Remedies, as pointed out, was the entire pharma pack, which was very active. It got a patent from Canada for Vanco Plus, and the Venus Remedies is going to introduce that drug in Canada over the next 2 years. 5% higher, so the street clearly thrilled with that news. Tata Steel was in focus. Citi has upgraded the counter to buy from neutral with a target price set at 430. They believe that the worst has already been priced in, and they expect Europe's business to hit bottom in the second quarter of FY13, and there is likely to be improvement in the European business by FY14. JSPL, it felt the overhang of the coal block allocation issue, so today the counter bled by close to 2%. Remember, news reports are saying that the company derives hefty gains from cheap coal. So let's pull up some of the other index losers in today's session. You had Axis Bank that continues to bleed. BHEL was a bit soft in the session, as was SBI from the banking lot, and JSPL also didn't perform well.